off then by showing you what sort of images work really well for this type of project. So I've got 5 different ones on the screen at the moment, and the thing that they've all got in common is that they've got one big blank area that you could use for your lint ball or your lollipop to go in. This sort of thing works really well for a lollipop, and I'm thinking for a gift tag that includes a lint chocolate ball, I'd really like that idea. And this one is one that I've pulled up from Cricut Design Space from Cricut Access, and all of these little images that I've got on the screen are actually Access ones. So if you haven't got a subscription, they're going to cost you 89p each to download those into your canvas. I could actually use this one and just contour out the Merry Christmas, but what I'm going to do is make my own. So first of all, I'm going to just select all. I'm going to group all of these together, and then I am just going to come over to the layers panel and hide them, because I'm going to start off by making my own gift tag. So if I come into the shapes menu and I just scroll down, there are a few different gift tags that I could use. There's one that's got like a square top, you could use that one as well, but this is the one that I really like, and it's very similar to that one that we've got there. So let's just zoom ourselves back out a little bit, not quite that much. Right, so this is massive on the screen at the moment, so the first thing to do is size it so that we are representing the size of the gift tag that we wish to create. So there's 2 ways to resize. You can either drag from the corners and drag it down to what you want it to be, or you can type into these width and height boxes at the top here, and if you were to just type into here, say 10 centimeters, without unlocking that little padlock at the top, it will change the size in proportion. So as you can see, I've put in 10 as my width, and it's taken it down to 17 on the height there. Now for my gift tag, I'm thinking I want it to be 6 across, and then I want it to be about 10 centimeters tall. So that's done a brilliant job at sizing that automatically. Again, if I wanted to put my own measurements in, I'd just unclick this little padlock and type in whatever measurements I fancied into those boxes. The first thing that we want to do then is now grab ourselves a circle, and we want to put that onto the canvas and just change the colour of it so that we can see it's something different there. Now I've measured the lint ball, and I reckon it's about 3 centimeters across, so I want to make this circle to be just a bit less than that, maybe about 2.8-ish. This is 2.78 centimeters. I think that's going to be okay. I might make it a little tiny bit smaller, just so that I've got enough card really around the lint ball to hold it in place. Okay, let's grab that now, and I'm going to pop it down at the bottom there. Now I want to make sure that it's in the centre, so what I'm going to do is select both of those layers. You can see that they're both highlighted because in the layers panel on the right hand side, both of those layers are highlighted in a pale mint colour. What we can do now then is go up to Align, and we want to click on Centre Horizontally, and it only moved it fractionally, so I was just a little bit out there. Because I've only got 2 layers on the screen there, I can slice this out, or I can come into the Combine menu and I can click on Subtract. But what I am going to do today is slice, and the reason I'm going to slice is because I know that that is perfect. It's how I want it to be, and I can just quite easily delete those 2 layers that are there. So now I've got a hole straight through the middle of my gift tag. Now I want to do the same to have a little tag hole at the top here. So let's just grab another circle. We want to make that also to be quite small, so let's go down to there. That makes it about 0.5 centimetre. Let's change the colour of it again to be white so we can see it better when it's against that grey. I'm just going to pop it on there. I'm going to put it wildly out of place here, so I'm going to put it over here, so quite clearly it is not in the centre at all, is it? So you can see exactly what it does now. So let's just select everything again by just dragging over, come up to Align and centre that horizontally, and you can see how Design Space moves that circle to exactly where we want it to be. Because we've still got both of those layers highlighted, as you can see, we can again click on Slice and we can remove that piece from the gift tag. So we can delete that now, they're gone. So what I've got now is my gift tag, one single layer with the hole for the ribbon and then the hole for the sweetie as well. What we want to do now is just duplicate that, and because we need 2 layers, what I'm going to do is just select one. As you can see, one of those layers is highlighted. And then I'm going to come up the top here to flip, and I'm going to flip it vertically, and that turns it upside down. So as you can see now, we have a mirror image of our gift tag here. What I'm going to do is just pop it as close to the bottom of itself as I can, and I'm not sure that that is completely touching. But what I'm going to do first is just click on select all. I'm going to come up to align, and then I am going to align them all to the left. So they're definitely in line with each other that way. To check whether they're touching in the middle, what I'm going to do is come in with my zoom all the way up to about 250, maybe a bit more than that. You can see they are indeed touching. So let's select all, and we are now going to weld. Now again, I'm using weld. This is the older function for gluing things together, and it is a permanent thing. You're quite welcome, if you're not sure what you're doing, to click on unite, because then you can undo that if you need to. I'm going to just weld mine and be done with it. That is done. Let's have a look at that. Right, now can you see how there is a line in the middle? That means that they're not quite stuck together how I want them to be. So let's undo that weld. Because I haven't done anything else since welding, I'm able to do that. What I can do now is fractionally move that up just a touch so that they're touching, and then I'm going to select both of those again, and I'm going to weld them again. Now you'll see the difference. You can see there's no line now at all, and that's how we want it to be. The next thing we want to do is get ourselves a score line. So let's go into shapes again and click on the line. It comes in here, and it's always vertical, and it's always 6.35 centimeters in length. I want to flip it round so that it's going to go across here. So the easiest way to do that is just to come into rotate here. I'm just going to delete that 0, type in 90 for 90 degrees and hit enter, and it turns it around. Then what I can do is just bring that into there, pop it across there, so now my score line is in the right spot. I could even make it shorter if I wanted to, just so that there isn't too much extra scoring going on when we make it. That's on there now. Let's select both of those, and we're going to just group that together. And we're going to zoom back out. So now you can see what we've got here. So this is the gift tag. Effectively what's going to happen is it's going to fold across this point here, up on itself with the chocolate in the middle. Just before we go through to make it, then there's one last step that we need to do. So if we just select everything again, and we just come down to the bottom here, we need to attach everything so that our score line is going to come out where we want it to on the cardstock. Let's click through to make it. There it is on the screen, and it looks exactly the same as it did on the canvas. If we click on continue, Design Space is just going to find my machine, and then it's going to ask us what material settings we want to use. And today I am using a medium cardstock. It is a HobbyCraft red premium cardstock. It's out of the 200 pack that I think is about £11. It's pretty thick. I think it's about 170 GSM, so it works really well for this sort of thing. On the screen then now it's telling me that I need to put in my single scoring wheel into clamp B and then press go, and then once that's done I'm going to switch out to the fine point blade as it tells me here in the coming up section, and then it'll cut out the holes and the shape of the gift tag for me, and then I can assemble it with my lint ball inside. Here is the finished cut mat then. So what I'm going to do is just flip my mat over to remove the gift tag from the mat. So I'm just going to take off the excess cardstock first, so the rest of the sheet. The reason that we fold that over is to keep the cardstock as flat as we can so that we don't get any curling of it. Same with the gift tag. Let's just lift that up gently. This is a brand new mat that I've only started in the last couple of days, so it's really quite sticky. I'm just going to use my new Silhouette Pick Me Up tool to remove these pieces because it's got this awesome flat edge on it. It looks a bit like a screwdriver, and it's really easy to just pick up the bits that are on the mat without having to sort of gouge at them with your nails or whatever. So I really like this. It's such a great piece of kit. If you see one anywhere, I would recommend that you pick it up because it's great. Next, I'm just going to pop the cover back onto my mat. So here is the finished gift tag. What I'm going to do is just fold that over the score line. That looks lovely. Let's get the lint ball now, and that will just go in there, and it just sits in there perfectly, as you can see. So what we're going to do next is glue it together. You can either glue it so it's glued under here and you hold it together like so, and then you'd be able to write on it. I'd probably write on it before you stick it together, so write your gift tag and then either use some double-sided tape or some glue just to hold that together under there. And I think that'd be really nice to give to somebody on their gift, a nice chocolate treat as well as their Christmas gift. But isn't that really fun? So let's have a quick look now at some of the other designs that we could make using the same method. As I said before then, when I was making the gift tag, these are the best ones to use. So if you've got this snowflake, for instance, oh, let's just ungroup that. If you've got this snowflake, for instance, here, let's just get rid of all of those. And if we just make that a bit bigger there so we can see what we're doing. The centre of this snowflake really lends itself well to making it into something to hold a lollipop or a chocolate ball, for instance. Let's just zoom that back in so that we can see the sizing of it. It's massive on the screen. Okay. Let's pull that in a little bit closer as well. Alright, so we don't want it to be huge, do we, if we're making it for a lollipop. So if we say that we want it to have about a 7 to 8 centimetres width on it, so that makes it quite a good size, and it's going to be enough for a lollipop there to go in the centre. So let's just zoom that in. What we want to do again is just grab a shape, and we want to make that down there to approximately, I'd say 2.5 centimetres or so. Let's make it white so we can see it again, and we're going to pop that over the centre there. Again, select everything, and then you want to align that into the centre this time. Now we can select everything again, and we can either click on slice, or we can come down here and click on to subtract. Okay, that's taken that centre out of that snowflake now, and as you can see we've got the layers that's changed in the layers panel on the right hand side. Let's duplicate it, and we want this one to be a lollipop holder. And the great thing about snowflake is you don't need to put in any type of joining or any hole for your lolly stick to go through, because it naturally does it at the bottom of the snowflake. So if we just put that there, we want to select everything, and again align it either to the left or to the right, whichever way you prefer. So they are going to be complete mirror images of one another now. If we select all of that again, and we can either combine and weld, or we can combine and unite. I'm going to weld, and then this again is a complete mirror image. I'm not going to bother putting a score line in for this one because it's such a tiny piece to fold. It's really easy to just fold that yourself. So I'll make one of those and I'll show you what that looks like as well. So for this one I've used a blue glitter cardstock, so I'm just going to again fold that back, just remove that from there. Here is the snowflake, and again I think I'm going to use my pick me up tool just to free this from the mat, because I don't want to break any of these fractals here. There we go, that is off there. I'm just going to get rid of these pieces as well. Honestly, this tool is my most favourite tool since my True Control set. This has saved my life this week with picking up tiny little bits of cardstock to go onto cake toppers. So I absolutely love it. I would definitely 110% recommend. Right, here is the snowflake, and as I said, I haven't put a score line on this one. It's unnecessary really, but if you can't fold it over, you might want to just score across it with a little weeding tool or something like that. So there is the snowflake. So you can use a lollipop and put it through that little hole there and then pop it into there. Then you can glue it together and there is your lollipop holder. Or let's see if it works with the lint ball. I think it will. The only difference with the lint ball going into this one is it's quite a bit bigger than the lollipop. So you are probably going to have to glue a couple of sides or make them a little bit bigger. This one is for a lollipop rather than the lint ball, so that will go into there like so. You can either use double-sided tape or you can glue. Whichever you feel more comfortable with doing is what you should do, and then glue them all together and then you've got your lollipop inside your holder. Unfortunately, my lolly's not really a very nice colour compared to my blue cardstock, but I've never seen a blue lolly, so yeah, but doesn't it look great? I love these and they're so fun to make. I'm going to continue and make a few more of these, and what I'm going to do is put them in my profile as a shared project in Cricut Design Space. If you haven't seen the video on how to find someone's profile, I'll pop that above now for you, and I'll pop it down in the description down below. And you are welcome to use these designs. I'm quite happy for you to use these designs. Don't forget to tag me in anything that you make. My handle for Instagram is down below in the description, and it's also in my little intro as well, so you can pick it up from there. But I'd love to see anything that you do make using these, so don't forget to tag me and knock yourself out, make loads of different designs and give lots of people some special treats this Christmas. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. And if you've got any ideas for any sorts of videos that you would like to see, please drop them down below and I'll try to do those in the future. Thanks again for watching. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye!